Good morning. It's May 21st, 2023, and I'm Ricky Gaspard, and I scalp stocks for a living. I made this video this morning because I wanted to get it out before Monday in case some of you wanted to use it. But if you know and watch my last videos, I rely on data as it's happening, not what has happened in the past, hoping for it to repeat. I find that's a failure in a lot of the ways of trading. Just because something happened in the past to me doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future. However, support and resistance lines have always worked. They don't work all the time because it could hit the upper or the lower line and not perform as expected. So when I scalp, I like scalping candle by candle. I like to know the buyers and the sellers in the current candle. This tells me a lot more about what may happen in the future than the indicators that tell you what has happened in the past. So I've made a few changes to my setup. And if you watched my other video about my profitable desktop setup, you'll see that I've made a few changes here. So what I've done is these two indicators here in the volume that tells you the percent of the sellers and the percent of the buyers. I changed it to where it's alternating back and forth so that they both don't stay popped up at the same time. It's an eye catcher this way, and it draws my attention when it changes. It used to be up here on a label, but I removed it and added it to this custom volume bar setup that's been out for a while. Up here, what I added was the stochastics. I removed it from down here. Of course, I really don't use it, but I know a lot of people do. Really, all I needed to know was if the stock was overbought or oversold. And here's your slow stochastics K period and your D period. So if you're familiar with stochastics, you know below 20 is oversold and above 80 is overbought. So this label is going to change to green when it's oversold and red when it's overbought. It also catches your eye when it's changing from color to color. So in the past, I put out the stock alert scanner. And this was the stock alert scanner right here. And we were adding it to the watch list. And I found myself searching too much data for the current candle. I was having to look here, switch back to the chart, check the candle. And to me, it wasn't simplified enough to where I could really concentrate on the current candle. Once you get off of that chart and you're over here looking, anything could happen on the chart with the candle. So I've taken this data, which is spike alerts. So this would be a spike toward the buy side. This would be a spike toward the sell side. And I've turned these into buy and sell arrows on the chart. And that's what you see here. So when you get a spike alert in a candle, it's going to post a green arrow. Not necessarily on every candle, but it will post an arrow on every candle if the volume continues to increase on each candle. So what you see here is the buyers increased on this candle, giving you a buy signal. The volume decreased, but we're still buyers. And then the volume spiked again with buyers. Then it pulled back a little here and it spiked again with buyers. Then you catch a red arrow where you have sellers coming in on a volume spike, which is an indication to get out. So I'm going to include everything down below. I'm going to share my desktop. I'm going to put links to this new volume indicator. And if you don't have these, I have them posted in a video. Just research up $2 or go to my YouTube channel, Stock Scanner Alert, where I have my other videos. So let me push. I'm in on demand on 5-minute chart. I trade on 5 minutes. We're on the stock APLD, and we're on the date May 17th. So I want to show you how this thing works. And believe me, it was hard to find something going up and on demand. It's actually hard to find something going up all week long, unless you just happened upon it. So what I'm waiting on here, we still have sellers, and we have an arrow. So I'm going to, if that arrow stays, I'm going to purchase this stock, and it appears to be staying. This indicator is the stock alert label indicator. You can delete it if you loaded the previous setup. It's now included in these buy and sell arrows. This seems to be staying, so I'm going to enter in. And down here, I have these indicators also on YouTube and on Use ThinkScript. And this is the market forecast tool, and this is the timing indicator. So we have the green arrow, so we have a volume spike of buyers. And we're waiting to see what happens. This could be a little lengthy because I'm on a 5-minute chart, but I want to show you exactly what's going on. We have a buy now signal, but we have sellers still on board. Stock is holding its position, which is good. Looks like we're turning around with the market timing indicator. We have not yet turned around with the market forecast. This one is the trend. This one is the buyers and sellers. Right now, the stochastics is pretty low. It's on 23, 22. So we know it's coming up from the bottom. These two indicators are as well coming up from the bottom. Volume appears to be light. We have 240,000 shares traded in this candle, most of them being sellers. I did this so that I could take a lot of brain work out of it. Like right now, if you were looking at this, you would not have any idea that this is going up or down. And you can't rely on the past because just like here, it tried to go up, but then it crashed. And those things, when you're scalping, are very important. I see we're getting a taller green candle here now. We're not into very much profit yet. I'm into profit, and where we have multiple green candles running up, and all of a sudden we get a red arrow, I kind of hold off and don't panic immediately. As long as I'm in profit, I don't mind losing a little profit to gain maybe another 50 cents or $1. So we're still waiting. We're in profit, but not by much. We do have a buy now indicator popped up. This was the market open candles, and this is the current candle. Volume is pretty good. Looks like the buyers are coming in. Still have the buy signal. This is looking nice down here. I like to see both of these get side by side and turn up and start running up. We're increasing here. Let's see if we get another green arrow. So if the buy volume is picking up, we should get another spike arrow. If this just slowly creeps up and we don't have a spike, you won't get an arrow. We're up $15 so far, almost 16. I think you're going to find that this is a very accurate indicator since it's not relying on the past. It's not relying on two moving averages crossing. It's not relying on the cross of VWAP. It's relying on current data between the buyers and the sellers. So the video, like I said, could be a little long. I'll try to cut it in the next 20 minutes. Encourage you that if you load this indicator, the arrows, and if you load the stochastics and you load this volume setup and you have these indicators set up, you almost can't miss. But I do want you to go into On Demand and find some stocks and monitor. Just click through the stocks, let them run for a while. Notice how these arrows work, and you'll find that they are pretty accurate. Still not into a great profit here. We've actually lost a little, but we still have this green arrow. We don't have a red arrow telling us to get out. This is pretty much the only moving average I like to use. It's very well respected by the price, and it's the 34 exponential moving average. A lot of people use the 50. I prefer the 34. You can see here it bounced off the 34 and it's stuck below the 34. We need to break above the 34, and there we go. Of course, I have the VWAP on. I don't know why. I mean, it goes flat during the day after the volatility slows down. To me, it's reliable when the stock is moving, but not very reliable for scalping when it's not. Still waiting on this stock to take off. Looking pretty good here on the volume bars. We're at 91% buyers. We have a buy now indicator. We did get a volume spike on this second candle, second green candle. We're up to $20. And you can, once you get used to this indicator, you can add to your position on every green candle. But be aware when you get overextended, I would not add towards the top because you could be wasting an entry. I'm sure you notice I'm not panicking. My emotions are flat. When you're scalping, sometimes it can get pretty emotional and you don't know whether you should get out or stay in, this calms me down a whole bunch. I don't trust these indicators. I don't trust any indicators in pre-market. Pre-market, here's a good example, can jump up and fall just as fast as it went up. There's not enough buyers and sellers in the game at this point to collect enough reliable data. To me, I do play pre-market sometimes, but if I get a run like this, I'm probably out in the middle of this big green candle, because I have lost money from stuff like this happening. We're looking good on the green candles. We have 1, 2 green arrows so far. Let's see if we get a volume spike out of this current candle. There's 2 ways you can exit this stock, and that would be if you see the red candle slowly creeping down and it just keeps wiping out your profits. I would suggest bailing on it. You can wait on the next red arrow, which is what I do 90% of the time. As you can see, it's pulling back here, but it's not pulling back on a spike. It's just a few people probably taking profits, or they don't trust the stock at this level. Maybe they even feel it's not going up. You look down here at these 2 indicators, they've lined up, like I said, they're side by side, and they're both pointing towards up. Watching the buyers here, the buyers are very slow on this stock. I may not have picked a good one, but doesn't necessarily have to be a good one to make money. If you don't have my current setup, there's a video on it. You can find it on Use ThinkScript. Just search my name, up $2, or you can go to my YouTube channel, Stock Scanner Alert, and go to the videos tab, and you'll find it set up. Maybe I should have picked a different stock, but the market's been tough the last couple of weeks. Very hard to find something that's going up unless you find it after it's already gone up, which seems to be my case every now and then. We did get above the 34 exponential moving average, which is good. We're still waiting, we're monitoring, we're not losing money, we're kind of holding flat for now. We do have the right indication on the market forecast and the timing indicator. We do have some sellers taking their profit. We have lost the buy now button or label, but it doesn't say get out. We don't have a red arrow. This could just be short sellers, could be people taking profit. I don't really care about that part. All I care about is volume coming in or going out. So that was an accident. Sorry about that. So while we're waiting on this, let's go over to the indicator And I'm going to explain something to you. Let's see. Right here it's called RG Scalping Arrows. And you can go into these settings. So this is the bullish spike and the bearish spike. I have it currently set at 1%. So 100 is 1%. 200 is 2% spike. 300 is 3% spike. If you prefer to change this to 2%, you're not going to get an arrow like this unless the spike is greater than 2%. I have found that beneficial, but you may miss the first candle and catch the second or third one. But it is a safer entry. It gives the price time to kind of figure out a direction. And if you wanted to play it safe, you could put a 200 here and leave. If you're buying, put a 200 here. Only leave the 100 on the bearish, because if you're buying, you want to know immediately if it's going to start selling off. So this would be 2% and 1%. If you want to use this indicator to short, you can leave it at 100 and 100, or move your 200 down here and leave the 100 up here. For the thickness of the arrows, you can select this tab, set the width to 2, this tab, and set it to 2. And that's pretty much it for this indicator. So we're waiting still. Don't know which direction it's going to go. In all honesty, I'd have probably got out. I would have got tired of waiting. But you can basically see what's happening here. Waiting on the buyers to come in, waiting on these indicators to line up, and I'm watching the arrows. I'm hoping that it keeps posting, keeps going up. It looks like other people are getting tired of waiting as well. We're still green. We haven't made much money at all. But this video, of course, is just to show you how this works. So you're going to run into this kind of movement. You're going to run into this kind of movement. And it makes it much easier to stay into the stock without panicking. And once, like I said, once it gets this high, take your profit. You don't have to wait on a red arrow or a red candle. There's no way for me to create a scan that finds these arrows. You can create an oversold scan and wait for them to start appearing. So to save time on this video, I'm just going to sell it here. I'm sure you get the point of how this works. You don't have to go over to your Market Watch tab and watch the percentages anymore. I mean, I still do, just to find stocks that are going up. Now it's taking off, so we played safe by staying in. There's another volume spike here. We're up to $54.60. Sometimes I think these things are monitored. Try to get you to get out before the rise. This is looking really good. Look at the indicators down here. They paired up side by side, as I said. We do have buyers coming in. We do have a buy now indicator. I'm going to hang on for a few minutes and see where it goes, but I'm sure you understand what I've created here. This is live data, not relying on the past. We're still rising, looking good. Let's see if we get another green arrow here. I didn't pre-plan this stock. I just picked one randomly out of the on-demand, as you can tell. I almost sold down here and called the video an end. But since it's moving, I'm going to go ahead and let it play out. And just for curiosity, I'm going to stay into it until the next red arrow and see where we end up as far as profit. We only have 200 shares, so we didn't spend a whole bunch on this stock. So at about 120 bucks, there we're probably looking at 10% profit. We did get a spike on this candle. So multiple candles in a row is not a malfunction of the script. It's letting you know that the volume in this candle has exceeded the average volume of the previous candles. So it's also telling you that the buyers are strong. We're up to $91, 92, still rising. We're up to $100 profit, 102. So like I said before, if you're happy with the profit, sell at any time. I do. Of course, I buy a lot more shares than 200. I'd have probably started at 1,000 and added 1,000 on each candle. So these numbers would be way up there right now. Still looking good down here. The MACD has now turned green as well. Still have the buy indicator over here. We still have green buyers in the volume bar. So anyway, I'm going to cut this video short since this stock is moving so slow. I'm pretty sure you get the point, literally the point. So like I said, go into your on-demand, load the indicators, go into your on-demand, test this thing out. Don't take my word for it. Instructor, if you use my indicators, use it at your own discretion. Do your due diligence, and happy trading. Appreciate you watching my videos, and subscribe if you like them. I need subscribers. Of course, I'm not into it for profit. I just like to know that the indicators are getting used and it's worth my time to put them out. Have a blessed weekend.